What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of our Real Salt Lake career mode, and today we have got transfers. Finally transfers. It's come to July now. As I said, I don't like this system, really. I feel like if we're going to do an MLS thing, or if FIFA's going to do an MLS thing, it starts in February, or it starts in January of 2019 instead of February 2018. Therefore, everything's rocking and rolling. I mean, if you're an MLS and you play MLS stuff all the time, when FIFA comes out in October, you're not looking to play this season going on that's just about to finish. You kind of want to play a new one, and I feel like it'd be better if it just started in January where you can make your signings. It's 2019, everything's rocking and rolling, and then it went that way. But either way, we've made it to July, and only a couple months left in the season, and we have got to strengthen. Now, today we are going to play this FC Dallas game, but we may possibly play Minnesota depending on who we're going to sign. And we're going to take a look at our transfer hub, some of the players we have in there. Alphonso Davis, hopefully to bring in on loan, and Ben Woodburn, hopefully to bring in on loan. We'll see about all that. A bit realistic. I think Bayern loaning Alphonso Davis back to a league he came from isn't overly out of the way. They are a bit light at winger, and I imagine they would like to keep him around in the unders to get a little bit going. But if they wanted to move him out, MLS right away wouldn't be too big of an issue. And Ben Woodburn, who's been loaned to the Championship a couple times the last couple of years, hasn't really worked out too much. Maybe Liverpool want to try out a different league, perhaps. And hopefully we can bring him in on loan for the rest of the year. Jordan Morris, we do need another striker. Hopefully we can bring Morris in. I'm not sure if he will outdo Baird, but he, as you can see, he can play in a couple of different positions. So hopefully we can possibly bring him in. And then we'd like to bring in one of these two midfielders. I feel Barry Bannon, I think, is the one I would like to go with. I really like the way he plays. And Mark Noble, of course. Big man over there at West Ham, though getting on a little bit in age, doesn't play as much anymore. He still gets some numbers in at West Ham, but they've got some players coming through the system, so maybe they want to part with them, bring an older head into the team for the rest of the year. Hopefully he can do that. But ideally we can bring in Davies, Woodburn, Morris, and Barry Bannon all into the club, and if not, we'll move on. But we're going to start off with trying to bring in some loan players. We'll start with Ben Woodburn, who Liverpool seem interested in letting go on loan, which is good. We can bring him in for a year, and they're happy to let Woodburn go out on a year. And his wages, 50-50. It's not too bad wage-wise if he can do it, and they will consider it, so he can hopefully come in here. Alphonso Davies, and hopefully we can bring him on loan as well. His loan is a little bit weird. It doesn't accept all the time. His gets rejected a little bit more often. They're happy to do it right now. 50-50 is not too bad once again. And they're going to consider 50-50. So what we're going to do is let that roll. And then we're going to try and bring in one of these players here. I'm going to go for Morris mainly because we know what his like. Offer between 34 or 3.4 and 4.6. It's a bit higher than I probably would like. But we do need another player in the position. So we'll offer a transfer. Ooh, you know what we can do? We can try and get rid of Beltran, who does want to leave. A midfielder, a center back, or a winger. We'll just go with the transfer fee for now. And we'll try his value. They want 3.6 and a 5% sell-on clause. That's a bit much. Hopefully we can get him for a little bit cheaper. We can go in the middle here and up the sell-on clause a bit. 13%. 3.6 and 5%. Let's try and bring that down just a little bit one more time. They're really sticking around there, but we're gonna go with it, I guess. 3.55 million for Jordan Morris. His wages aren't out of the way. Only $5,000 a week, I believe I read there. I have them both in here. Bring them important for the rest of the year. It doesn't matter because he can't go anywhere before the end of the year, so even if he's unhappy, it is what it is. 4 years thereafter that. A release clause, that's fine. Not overly worried about that. Though normally I would be a little bit worried. That's not overly high considering we just paid 3.5 for him. We'll get rid of the bonus and see what he can do with that. 3,500 is not too bad. 3.9, 3,900 is not bad. And we'll take that as less than what he's on at Seattle. So we've bought in our striker, Jordan Morris, into the club. We'll take a look at the squad really quick. And here he is. Depending on how fit Baird is, he may get himself a start. Come next time, we can actually compare him to Baird right now. And he is a little bit better than Baird. He's the pink one. He's more physical, quicker. Though Baird, whose finishing is much better, has been playing well for us as well. So at the moment, we'll keep Morris on the bench, but we'll see what happens as we go forward. We can also move him out wide if need be, or sit him in behind. We will see about that. So we're gonna wait and see if another scouting report or two comes back. See, this is the one that gets rejected. All right, out of the way he goes. So Alphonso Davis will not be coming in. These guys, I don't really... Oops, I didn't mean to sign him, but it is what it is. This isn't that big of a deal anymore. Our youth academy, really. We can take a look, I suppose, at the youth squad in a little bit. We'll do it some other time. It's not overly important. They're not going to grow enough to make an impact. So we're going to have to figure out what we want to do to bring in another winger. I would like to bring in another winger, though Ben Woodburn, if we take a look, can play in those positions. Yeah, he can play left wing if need be. So we'll see if we need another winger, though that would have been a good loan signing. Bring him in. He could start on a wing as well. What it is. But after this, we'll take a look at some other signings if need be. We're going to try and find another winger, see if we can bring one in on loan or buy one for cheap. We'll see. But let's just jump into this game first. FC Dallas and Real Salt Lake. Lovely ball out to Plata. Morris here. Can he get it forward? Lovely ball in behind. And it's Rusnak. Rusnak. Oh, it's a good block and a good save. I thought Savarino got open back there. And not quite. And then I had to take this shot I didn't want to take. And unfortunately got saved. And then the rebound just fell just wide. Almost. It's Lennon. Does well. And Lennon does well to find space. And it's in. And it's Morris. And oh, come on. Oh, I thought that was it. Oh, I really thought that was it. Oh, not far away at all. Jesus. Nicely done. Morris, one more. Can we get that ball out to Plata? We can. And Plata is in a good spot here. Plata cuts back. Can he find him? He finds Krylach, and Krylach has an attempt, and it's just going to go out of play. And we might jump into halftime. 0-0 here. A lot of play in midfield in this game. And it's back, and it's going to find Savarino, and he can't loop it into that corner there, over the bar. 0-0 at the half. And they're tough to break down, Dallas, though, coming forward. They're pretty one-dimensional, just swinging crosses in, and our center backs are doing the job, so you can keep that up. And we can hopefully go on and grab ourselves a goal as well. We can bring Beckerman on, who I didn't want to start from the beginning, and hopefully we can push forward and grab ourselves the goal. Good football there. Decent. Nicely done. One in. Here we go. It's nicely done. It's Morris. And Morris looking for his debut goal, and there it is, right into the corner. Morris, welcome to the club. It's 1-0. And Jordan Morris doing really well. And he's felt pretty smooth playing here so far in this opening game here, and it's a nice turn inside and a good finish. He does not have a left foot, Jordan Morris, it seems, but his right foot does well. Look at this finish right into the corner. No chance for the goalie. A perfect finish for him. It's 1-0, a debut goal for him, and also gives us the lead. Baird and him, I'm not sure how we're going to play this for the rest of the year. I may go 45 minutes to start with Baird and then bring on the extra pace and Morris toward the second half while they're tiring. That's probably how we're going to have to do it, as Plata's in here and we can grab a quick second. And that is a poor, poor finish. Stays 1-0. Beckerman does well to find the man. It's Krylach. Back inside. Rusnak. One more. Can we get it? It's Morris. And Morris has another hit, and it's a good save. A couple deflections in there, and it set up nicely for Morris, who couldn't beat the goalkeeper. Loses out. Is just trying to hold off there to get that ball out to Lennon. Decent enough football from Dallas, and it's come to him. And he's onside. Nicely done. One more. He finds Morris, and can we get it back post? And it's our young kid, Gordson, and he's put it in the back of the net. 57 overall, the young kid. It's 2-0, and he seals it up. It's a great ball from Morris over there, who's got a goal and an assist on his debut. And now Gordson's debut. Those two linking up, and look at that finish. It's a good finish from the youngster there. Kept it low and just smashed it into the net. That's a really good finish. Didn't even bounce. Look at that. Lovely, lovely finish. And it is 2-0, and that will be game over. 2 debuts today. One from a young kid, one from an MLS veteran, you could say. Someone who's been around a little bit. And, I don't know about veteran, but he's a young player still. But he's been playing for a couple years now. And first start for the youngster. Grabs himself a goal. And I'm sure how many games he was even going to get at this point in the year, Gordson, but he's gotten onto the team and grabbed himself a goal. And that may be his only appearance for the year, as we're looking to bring in another winger as this game ends 2-0. A good victory for us, and other than that one shot, I remember, I don't think Dallas even had an attempt. You know, that was it. That was it. We played really well. Good defensively. Offensively good enough as well with a 2-0. And the Crew, or Sporting Kansas City, are not there, as Girona want to take Corey Baird in on loan. No. Thank you. That would be mean, though. Let him go to Spain and try his luck out there, though. But we need 2 strikers. So we stay 2 points ahead of Sporting Kansas City, who did win their game. 19 total games played. And we are 2 ahead. Let's sim these out and see where they end up. Not too bad. Everybody's grown a decent amount so far. But now let's see if I'm going to sim just a little bit and hope we can go ahead and get some scout reports back. And perfect. There they are. Joe Rolls, Mark Noble, Alphonso Davis, and Woodburn has been loaned in. So Woodburn has come. Alphonso Davies has not. We've got ourselves a backup attacking midfielder for Rusnak, who seems to be the one to go in and out the most in this team. And he'll back up Rusnak for the remainder of the year. If we can get another winger to come in and play backup to any of these two, or come in and, if Rusnak's not available, Woodburn's here, move Woodburn back possibly if we need a goal. A couple of different options there, but we also would like another midfielder, because once we lose out on these 2 spots here, their next in line is Mulholland, and that is the only one in line, to be absolutely honest. So we do need another midfielder there, but I believe outside of winger and midfielder, we are going to be pretty much set when it comes to transfers. But for now, Mark Noble, 76 overall. 7 million and 10 million. I'm not sure of the money for all that. Barry Bannon, 3.5 million. We can go ahead and do that. No, we're not going to hit the release clause. 6 million. Is a bit much, but it seems like we can probably get him for a bit less. We'll try 3.5 to start, though they do want. We'll try 3.7 to start and see what happens. Oh, fair offer for Barry Bannon. We could have started at 3.5, but let's negotiate his contract. Hopefully bring him into the club. He may be starting alongside Krylatch. He wants Crucial, naturally, to come over here. 2 years, that's fine. We're only here to the end of the year anyway. Disregard release clause. Fine. 6.6 they'd like is fine. And then, oh, a signing bonus of 81,000. I thought that was his wages. I'm okay with that. We'll just bring him in. It's fine. We got our midfielder, and then we found 2 players who we can bring in to play winger as a backup. We've got Fred Onyedinma from Millwall, who I've used in last year's save for Millwall. He turns into a decent player. And then Orozco from Venezuela, who I believe we're going to go with the more experienced player. And they won't sell, it seems. What is this? Oh, see, now here's the issue. No. We're going to bring on Onyedinma in instead because he's got 6 months left on his contract and we can't buy him per se. So we're going to have to hold off on that. But hopefully we can bring on Onyedinma in. We have a decent amount of money here, so we may overspend just a little bit. We'll try at 3 and see what happens here. And they got a fair offer there. And we're just going to accept his contract. And I think we are going to be good to go when it comes to players that we need to bring in. We've overspent on him, which is, it is what it is, really. So it's just going to have to live that way. A £2.2 million release clause, I'd be rather upset if I'd done it that way. I don't know what his current wage is. Just do 20 and see what happens because we can afford that. And that's great. He's just comfortable with 20. So we've bought in our 2 players here. We're going to take one look at the squad and see if we need to bring in any more before anything happens here. So we've got our backup and Onyedinma. 68 overall is not too bad. And then we've got Barry Bannon as well, who we can bring in right here, and we can bring Barry Bannon right into the starting lineup. And he's not the most physical of players, but he is technically pretty decent. So hopefully this will be the team right now. I think what we're going to do with Baird and Morris is 45 minutes for Baird, and then the second half we'll bring Morris on, who's doesn't have the finishing, but he's got the pace and the physicality to run at tired defenses. So I think we're going to end up doing that. As for players, I think we are done buying. That should be it. We've got our backup wingers, backup striker, backup attacking midfielder. We've got 2 backups now in midfield. Backup wingbacks. Yes. Backup center back. Yes. I think we have 2 center backs here, but what we can try, because everything else is fine. We can try and bring in a goalie. Not you. Maybe the new. I'm not sure what happened with Stefan's contract. I don't know if he went right back to Columbus. Oh, he did go back to Columbus. Never mind then. That may be it for transfers. We're going to take a look at some goalies. I'm going to take a look and see if I can loan in a goalie, perhaps. But other than that, I think we're pretty good. Alright, we may have possibly found a goalkeeper to bring in. We tried Angus Gunn, but they're not interested. And Costa, they're also not interested. There aren't really too many goalkeepers that we can really try out when it comes to loans. We can try one more. Wasn't Fructal. Oh. Well, I guess we can try Fructal. Mainly because we're just looking for a backup goalie. I don't think any of these guys are up to Raimondo's level right now. So I'm kind of just looking for a backup goalie, mainly because our backup goalie is only 61 overall. And we're just looking for someone just in case something happens to his contract is too short. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to go for anyone else. I think we're good as we are. I guess we're going to have to hope Raimondo doesn't get hurt before the year ends. But I think that's where we're going to end this episode. And we are fully booked up. We are good to roll when it comes to transfers. Excuse me, everything is ready to go. So we can just hop into our 3 games next episode and be fully prepared to take on the rest of the season and hopefully push into the playoffs and into the final of the MLS Cup, which we have a game next episode, 2 episodes away from. And things are going to start getting tight. We got 4 games in 2 weeks here. We got time to use our backups and things, and that's why we needed to go ahead and bring some backups in. There's still 2 months left of the window, so if Beltran leaves and some other players we don't necessarily need around leave, we may bring in a possible goalkeeper. We can go to the squad, actually, and check out the squad hub and possibly send some players out of the way we don't need. We've got players here, block offers, so we can add some of these guys. Beltran's the one, I believe, who's leaving. Yeah, it is Beltran who's leaving, so he can go. Need. Severino. We can probably let go of Ruiz. I guess I can't block offers for Ruiz. And Allen can go as well. And if we get enough money, and we may possibly go for a goalkeeper, we may get a huge offer for someone, and we may be looking to replace somebody. We'll see. But that'll probably be the end of it. But till next episode, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for more. And peace.